All right. Some not breaking. I'm gonna let y'all file in before I truly start breaking news potentially. Could be wrong. Could be right. So I got my quarterback pairings. I already built my FanDuel stuff. I'm all good there. It's basically Ohio State doubles, Clemson doubles, and some single stacks with Castellanos and Gunnar Stockton, and then just kind of mixing in some singles. But that's it. I'm not playing a crazy amount on FanDuel today. Backed it down a little bit from 50 to 20 entries. Uh-oh. Pete Thamel coming on screen. Wonder if he's going to break the news that I might have gotten already this morning. I haven't gotten any notifications saying that it broke, so maybe it hasn't broken yet. Nah, he's talking about Texas Tech probably. Dante Moore, 6 votes to be the top quarterback. Interesting. That has a little bit of, all right. So we're starting to get some people in here. So news of the day that may or may not be true, could end up being very much so the Josh Hoover thumb issue. What's up, Patrick? So word on the street is, this is all rumor right now, but y'all are hearing it here first. But I've gotten some intel that could be true, could not be true, but I'm going to put it out there because why not? Rather y'all be somewhat informed. So why? Back end reporting says that DeCorian Moore for Oregon is not going to play today. And it was originally believed to not be a very serious injury, but further testing suggests it is a ACL, and it's happened within the last couple of days, like between yesterday or the last 2 days, we'll say. And it's not something that they've sat on. So, and then Kenyon Sadiq is also still not 100%. That is confirmed. But so, yeah. So who knows on that one? I don't think we're going to hear anything, but word out there, not super confirmed. It's not like I'm tied into Oregon football too much, but I do have some information. And they're saying that potentially DeCorian Moore lost for the season with an ACL issue, or at least an ACL issue that at minimum keeps him out this week. What's up, David? Hopefully we have a good week this week. Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm going to be putting together our Coffin Corner. I love that tournament. It's a favorite tournament. Love this slate on DK. Big fan of it. You may end up being surprised with who I am going to end up with as my quarterbacks. So in this particular contest, we're going to have plenty of Julian saying, don't worry. But in this particular contest, I am going to rely on all of my quarterbacks in this for these lineups that I'm going to build. It's going to be Julian Sayin, Noah Fafita, Scotty Fox, although I do need to check the weather because I minimal concern about the weather in West Virginia. Nope. Everything's good. All right, cool. Oh yeah. Oh no, don't worry. I have FanDuel teams built. I'll play it. Well, I'll show you all kind of what I've built. But I want to let you guys on the duel. I started playing on FanDuel. That was the first place I played and played there forever. But I don't know, man. I hate the structure of their tournaments. I hate their cash games. Like like it's just I hate their reward system. I mean, I play a ton of money on there, and my rewards are doo doo. Like I play less money. I used to play like way. I play way more money on FanDuel at times, and get 1/10 of the rewards I get on DK. And DK's nuked their reward system. It's awful compared to what it was even a year ago. Um, so my team on this one is going to revolve around. There's 3 games. Well, I would say there's 3 games, but I really like Malik Washington this week. I think he has been terrible early in the year or late in this little portion of the season. Tough matchups. Gets an absolute nut spot against Rutgers. He's got rushing upside, 6 for 67. I like that. He's so good. This is a kid that everybody and their brother is going to be fighting over if Loxley gets fired or if somehow he decides he's leaving Maryland. Everybody's going to fight over him. So I want him. And Fafita is playing like freshman Fafita now. So, like you said, David, I'm going to have a lot of Fafita, a lot of Sayin, a lot of Fox, and a lot of Washington. They're my top 4 quarterbacks. I think Washington goes under-owned to the group. So that's why I'm going to end up playing him in this spot. And especially in single entry, I think most people are going to go Sayin Fox, which we'll have one of those. I'm going to have one built like that. But I want to go Washington Fafita here in this one. Obvious play. There's no doubt about it. The best back play on the slate is Dior Hubbard. So I'm 100% having him. Now, the $1 million question is going to become in this spot, who do I want to pair with Malik Washington? Do you need a pair of Malik Washington? You probably do. You definitely want to pair Fafita. So Malik Washington, I think I'm going to end up pairing him at some point on one of these teams. I got him on 3. I'm going to have him on 3 of the. I'm building 6, so it's going to be one of them. I like DeJuan Williams as pairing with him because 4, 7, and 5 catches. He's kind of operating as a wide receiver 2 for them, maybe even a wide receiver 1 over the last 2 weeks. And he's still going to get volume on the ground. I think double-digit carries is in play. They just got destroyed by Indiana, and that was to be expected. They were never going to be able to run the ball there. So if I can get this like 15-touch game out of him, I think 18 points is in play, and I think he's a great play as a pairing. Similarly, like I think Fox and Hubbard together is perfectly acceptable because of the value that they present. So I will be in on that. It's just on this spot, is that what I want to do? Obviously, my favorite running back play on the slate is Antoine Raymond, and he fits perfectly to pair with Washington. I think Raymond gets 20-plus carries in this spot. There's better wide receivers to pay for. Shalik Knott's being my favorite pairing with on the Maryland side. And then Fafita-wise, I do like paying up for Chris Hudson. I really do like that. I like the Calumet. So I love that game. I played it in my 20 max. I played it with Calumet Manis, Strong Duff as a triple, and then used Williams and so I did it a few different ways. I used Williams and Shalik Knott's as bringbacks in a game stack situation. I used it the same way with that and added Washington just to go full nuclear game. And then I like playing the other way, play Washington, Williams, Knott's as the triple, and then bring it back with Duff or Strong with Raymond. I think there's a ton. I do have some Fagnano exposure, but that's the thing, Warren. I'm just happy doing that. And I mean, he's my most owned wide receiver this week. I guarantee it. I would be shocked. I'm going to have a hard time keeping him out of most teams. He might be. He's probably Nick Nash this season. Him and Danny Scudero are two guys that, I mean, think about it. Danny Scudero, if he's on a main slate, is 8,500 or more, and Skylar Bell's been just as good. So I can't fade Skylar Bell, especially in single entry. That's just stupid. I have what? Let me see what my exposure is to Skylar Bell currently. And mind you, I'm doing game stack, so it's not even like I would rather play Skylar Bell than any running back. That's the thing, because he legit projects better than shoot. I mean, I would bet he projects better than any. Yeah, he's the. I mean, his points per dollar projection. He has the best raw points projection on the slate outside of Marcel Reed. Like, he projects better than all the quarterbacks. And even then, I don't trust the Marcel Reed projection. I do have a little bit, but it's just to cover my. It's like 10% or 5 or 10%. It's not a lot. Let's see. Let me see my player exposure, because I actually am curious, like you talked about. So far in the teams I've built, and we haven't built these 6, but I have 83% Dior Hubbard, 65% Skylar Bell. They're the only two over 40. So Bell and Hubbard are my 1 and 2. No doubt about it. It's my quarterback exposure. I have 26% Fagnano, 30% Fox and Washington, 35% Sayan, and I only have 17% Fafita, but I'm gonna build more Fafita in the high dollar stuff. What's up, JB? I actually ended up on far less Gunnar Stockton than I expected. I prefer the Fagnano side of that Yukon game because I can just pair him with Bell and then add in Nate Shepard and insert Duke wide receiver. But yeah, oh no, zero love for Juju Lewis. I'd rather just play Omarion Miller by himself. Did RG stop doing live before lock on college? I don't know. They used to a long time ago. It used to be Justin and Head Chopper, I think. I think it was Justin and Head Chopper doing it back in the day. Long time ago. Way back in the day. Just trying to take up the mantle for Ben Pritchett, man. I like Ben Pritchett. Nice guy. Let's see. So, how do we build this in? So, what my buddy did, I think he had a team similar to this. Let me see if that was the team he built, because I wanted to see what Brian built yesterday. Because I told him I liked the build and it was something that I would do. Oh no, he built the Bayern team with Fafita. That's what it was. Oh wow. Oh, Matt's smart. Matt's a smart guy in space. I would love to sit down and have a conversation with some of those guys, just to see where their head's at, or at least like how are they approaching this stuff? Like, what am I missing? I think it's kind of hard in this spot to fade Antoine Raymond. I mean, he's the perfect bring back for this Washington side. I know Rutgers likes to chuck it. I know they do. But man, is Raymond a really good play today. Raymond's such a good play today. I have so much Raymond though, but it's just going to depend on what I want from wide receiver because it's very easy. You could go. I don't like Cam Edwards from UConn as much as I thought I would. I like if I'm not playing Saiyan, I love getting Bo Jackson exposure because of the leverage you're going to get on all the Saiyan teams. Because think about it this way, I think it's a non. I, I think there's a greater than 10% chance that Bo Jackson runs for north of 150 and 3. But it is a legit possibility that that is your leverage play of the day is getting Bo Jackson at 5,400. He takes all the points. You get all the leverage on the Saiyan side. That's just, I don't know, man. I think from an under own, I know they hate, well, they hate him in the red zone. That's the problem. It would be fine. He'd be perfectly fine. So like they feed him. It's just they don't give him red zone carries, which is the problem. Yeah, well, Peoples usually gets them when the game's a blowout. So if you look at the snap percentages when the game's in hand versus the game being like tight, it's typically Jackson in the normal areas, and then when they get in the red zone, they rely too heavily on Donaldson in the red zone. Peoples kind of gets the scraps at the end of the game. They don't trust him at all. But like the problem here is the touchdowns. He's only got 2 rushing on the season. So it just feels like eventually he's going to pop a couple 50-yarders in one of these games and just have this breakout game where everybody goes, holy smokes. So I almost want leverage. And it's basically the scary part is that I'm getting leverage. I want to get leverage on myself. So I'm hedging basically because I'm going to have so much Saiyan that do I want to hedge on my own self is the question. I really do. That's what I'm saying, Metro. I really do think Bo Jackson has legitimate 3 TD upside in this spot. And it just sinks all of my Saiyan teams. Oh, really? So Cal McManus doubles are getting chalky? I get it. I just want to go the other way. I think that, I mean, if that's going to be chalky, so if that's going to be chalky and people are going to, because if it's popping in Sims, then everybody's going to go there. You got to kind of be able to get leverage on the field because everybody's starting to use Sims now. So I would prefer to go away from it because I think I've seen it in NFL when people have been talking about it, is that you end up with the everybody kind of going to the field, or the field saying, hey, ownership, yada, yada, yada. And then everybody gets off of the ownership and goes towards the, everybody's flocking to the, what they think is the pivot. And then the pivots end up getting overowned, which is kind of the problem in that sense. But I do see that happening a good bit lately here. Man, that's what everybody's kind of in my discussions have been saying. If Nate Shepard was 6.2K, he'd be an auto lock. And so I do have some exposure, but it's very difficult to get that exposure because you're really comparing him to Jeremiah Smith at that point. And that's where it gets scary, right? He's so expensive. They priced him up way too much. I mean, I love Fafita doubles, but the problem with Fafita doubles is who do you go with? So if you're going to do a double, I think you have to play Hudson. Hudson's the only one getting volume. He plays out of the slot. it's the Cyrus Allen game. So in this spot, for me, I like playing Fafita. I mean, with Hudson, and I'm going to play him with Hudson a good bit. You would say Watley's probably the second, but I wouldn't say that from a points per dollar standpoint and from a cash flow standpoint, because there's actually a lot of good plays in that 4,600 range. Fafita just spreads the ball around so much, and these guys are so touchdown dependent. I would argue that Spivey, because Spivey's getting a ton of routes. Let me see if I have the route data, because I actually do want to. Hang on, I gotta log into it, because I actually did look at this the other day. They'll want to see that, but I like Spivey personally. With if I'm doing a double, I want it to be Spivey. For my money, I need to see. I need to keep an eye on when the. I like Spivey personally. It's very thin, but I still like it. Spivey and Hudson are the only ones playing over 70% of the team's offensive snaps too. Let's see. So yeah. And then Spivey's averaging 25.5 yards per catch. So yeah. So Kansas's big problem has been covering slot wide receivers. We saw that with Cyrus Allen. That's where Chris Hudson comes in. I think Chris Hudson is the ultimate. You could call him, he's the ultimate fancy play. I don't know how I feel about that, but maybe he is the ultimate fancy play. Oh, I'd go Dickie Bell. I mean, I'm sorry, Hemby Bell. I don't like Dickie that much, and I don't like Kingston. I mean, I like Kingston, but Bell is. So to give you an idea, the Bell to Kingston difference in projection alone is almost 9 points, probably closer to 10, but it's not. It's about 9. Kingston's good play, but Bell is a fabulous play for my money. So yeah, so I like Chris Hudson a good bit. Let's see. So yeah, man, that's a question though. Is do you want Spivey here to try to build yourself some extra room in? I like Hudson a lot, so I'm gonna play Hudson in this one with him. I think I'm probably gonna end up pairing Shalik Knotts, because Knotts gets a ton of targets, and then that's gonna leave you at 62. Cam Vaughn is like the ultimate trash game play. Oh, see that now that gives you in that 61. You could get freaking Duff. See, I don't like this range. That's the problem. I think everybody's going to play Tate over Hudson in that spot, and they're just going to plug that in. I can go 5,400 here, which gives me 7,400, which gives me Barcade. I think I've built this team already exactly with Barcade too, because I don't love Jeremiah Cobb in that spot. I actually do like Cooper Barcade in that spot. So that's the question then. Do I want to play Bo Jackson over Antoine Raymond, not play a bringback from Rutgers? That seems stupid. But then again, it gets to play Barcade. But KJ Duff projects better. Do I want to play a double in that spot? Because I could play a double. Yeah, because Duke doesn't get – people don't get the Duke offense. I don't think anybody gets the Duke offense, really. I don't think they understand it. All right, let's look at this one. We'll see if I can finalize this one first. All right, Saiyan double with Fafita. Now the question is, do you want to play a Fafita double? So we could go full double. I don't hate it, actually, because I could go Spivey Hudson, have 6,300 left at a running back spot, which also sucks in that space. I mean, because I'm not playing Cam Edwards. I'd have to go down, all the way down. So I don't love that. I'd have to go down. I can't play Bo Jackson there. I'd rather have 6,600. So I don't love that. So you probably want 5K there in that spot. I bet I could play Bell in this spot. Let's say, I think Jacoby Williams is such a good play. I do think DeJuan Williams is a good play, but I'm going to play enough of him. Let's play Jacoby here. I want Hudson. I really do think Hudson's the best play. But that's that team I built the other day, basically. So let's just say if you did Hudson in that spot, then you're left with 4,500. That's where I end up usually on Chase Roberts. All right, what if we do? So if we do Chase so that's a decision right there, folks. So you get Chase Roberts, and then you need to decide: do you want Jordan Davison of Oregon at 4,300, or do you want Chase Roberts or Quayshawn Brown? So you get Chase Roberts here in this spot, then you get your Williams Roberts bring back, which I think I played something very similar. In another, I think that was the first lineup I built, was very similar to that. Separate with Scotty Fox, and then somebody like Skylar Bell. That's exactly what it was. You go Scotty Fox here. So if you go with so I'll tell you right now, the first lineup I built all week, and I do have it entered in a single entry, like the smaller coffee corner, is this exact team. It just has Scotty Fox and what's my man's name? Skylar Bell right here. And that's the only difference. So that's why I like that team. But and I like Hudson a ton. But let's go to what does Spivey do? Because I think Spivey gets me. Yep, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was wondering. That begs the question: do you do this? Oh, I love Chase Roberts. I think Chase Roberts is a better play than Parker Kingston for my money in that spot. I like Gunner with Branch, but I like Gunner with Branch and nothing else. Like I've got plenty of that in different spots. See, I like this a ton because I get off of Hudson. I get the Spivey play. I like Skylar Bell is such a good play that I have a hard time not playing it. I mean, I'm not saying I think he goes for 40. I'm not saying I think he goes for 30, but I do think that 25 plus is well within reach. I don't agree. I don't disagree with that, Josh. I think Anthony Evans is on DK specifically. Evans is probably the better play than Thompson. I don't see how I'm not playing this exact team. I like Spivey. I like Bell. I don't want to get to Roberts by comparison. I do think BYU ends up under. I think Barrett Bachmeier has an extremely difficult time with the pass rush that David Bailey can present. So all of those things combined, I do think Roberts is a good player. But if Spivey breaks off one long touchdown, he can match Roberts. And there's no way in hell anybody's matching Skylar Bell for that, by that comparison. Like, especially in that, what we're talking, you got to go Hudson. Like Hudson ain't matching Bell. So that's, I struggle with not playing this. So FanDuel side, by the way, I'm just reading things, so I'm gonna flip back and forth between stuff. I have a ton of Shamar Brown. No, No. Bo is unless you're playing Saiyan, Hemby's not worth it. There's too many risks for Hemby in that spot for me. All right, let's submit that team. I'm playing the Spivey Bell team. That's my favorite way to play it. I'm definitely doing that. Pop, Pop. I've played that Koiken train far too much. It continues to destroy me. I want it to be, but I don't know that it will be. It's a deal. It's a bit of a deal, we'll say. I keep on it though. I keep landing on that train. I do want Hudson there. I'm still struggling with that single entry. Yeah, I know. I keep chasing that freaking Koiken thing. The problem is I'm not playing a lot of Baron. My buddy is playing Bayron. I'll show you all exactly what team he built. So Jordan Lyle, it could legitimately be 50, 55, 45 between Brown and Lyle. It could be 60, 40. I lean Brown personally, for good reason based on everything that the market says and everything like that. But yeah, I'm leaning into that, we'll say. So I'm more interested in Lyle or in Brown, and I'm playing more Brown, but that doesn't mean that I'm not playing him. Callie Manis, Williams, Knotts, Strong, Barkate, Bell, Washington. Well, I legitimately have JB. I legitimately have that team on in a DK tournament I built 2 days ago. I don't know how I feel about the fact that I'm starting to match the Sims this week. I mean, because legitimately, this slate is fairly simple. You legitimately can narrow it down to I'm playing Ohio State, Indiana, West Virginia, and then you can even play a West Virginia stack. In fairness, and then you want the game of Maryland, Rutgers, you want the game of Duke, UConn, and you want the game of Kansas, Arizona, and that's really the plays there. Top 2 quarterbacks today for my that's tough. I'm gonna say Fafita and Scotty Fox. If you told me I had to play one team, I would play Fafita and Fox. That's from a points per dollar standpoint, I'm gonna play that. I like the upside personally of Malik Washington because I think Rutgers is an absolute dumpster fire. And I've missed out so much on Julian Sand that I don't think I want to play it. Yeah, no, hey, sometimes you got to keep some things to yourself. That's why y'all don't see my 20 max. Those are more like shot plays, and I don't feel very confident in them. But I'll share this because I'll share these. Like even though it's the high dollar stuff, if I split 50K with one of y'all, I'm perfectly fine with it. I don't care. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All right. I like an Indiana stack, so we can talk about that. I like it. I'm playing some of those. There you go. Yeah, you got to throw it in something. I have it. Um, I love playing this together, and I have some exposure to it no matter what. I still don't think Surratt plays. He's a game time decision, yada, yada, yada. I just don't think he plays. I think everybody's going to turn to Williams on FanDuel or DK. Personally, and I wouldn't recommend this. And I would say you're safest just going Mendoza Cooper. I think Jonathan Brady catches a touchdown today. He played with Mendoza at Cal. He's gotten on the field, even though he's like kind of the fourth wide receiver in. Doesn't necessarily play a ton. I just have a gut feeling that at 3,200, Brady, I have some Brady exposure. I have Brady exposure. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a good play. I'm just saying I have exposure. That's all. All right. I want a, let's see. So we did Saiyan Fafita, which I love. Let's go Saiyan and my man from West Virginia. Oops. Make sure, by the way, put your freaking earlier guys up here and put your later guys late. You know what I'm going to do actually too? This is going to be stupid. I'll tell you it's going to be stupid before I ever do it. I'm going to stack Scotty Fox and fade Dior Hubbard in this one team. Because Dior Hubbard's going to be featured in a lot of teams. But I think I needed one team where I don't play Dior Hubbard at least, maybe two. Oh, I could always find a way, JB. You start playing Duke guys. That's exactly what happens. You feel comfortable playing Nate Shepard. I'll tell you that's what happens. If you play Fox and Dior Hubbard, you get real comfortable playing well, that's why you play the Saiyan doubles with it. I think it's the easiest way to do it. Or you play Barkate Bell as a combo, or you play Nate Shepard and Skylar Bell. I perfectly. Oh, that was Ishmael Mahdi. Yeah, he's something. Yeah, Ishmael Mahdi is a something. So, Scotty Fox. I kind of want to play this one a little weirder. Maybe Omarion Miller in this spot. But then I've got to play. Then if I play a Saiyan double with Omarion Miller as a bring back, then I'm stuck. Like I can't play. I would rather be able to plug in KJ Duff and Skylar Bell for the upside. I don't like that. All right, let's see. Where was that Jeff Weimer stuff? All right, so Cam Vaughn is the ultimate like leverage play. Pop, I have a problem with Chase Sowell. I can't quit him. The man's like nicotine. He's impossible to quit. I need a Chase Sowell patch, something that just injects something that tells me not to have it. I got to stop. I keep playing him. I don't know why. I can't stop. So Jeff Weimer, whatever. I don't believe is particularly good. He has 190 receiving yards on the season. But if you notice, the last 2 weeks, when Scotty Fox has started against Houston and TCU, of that 190 yards, he has 124 of them. I'm fine with Fagnano. I'm sorry, I haven't watched UConn play in live yet, so I don't know how to say it. So we're going phonetically. But I'm fine with him. I have more exposure to him than I do Mensa, but he is so expensive. He's not going to be in any of these big teams for me. But I do have interest in Weimer in this spot if I was going to pair him. I think Vaughn gets the most looks, but I do have interest in Weimer. He's getting a ton. He actually ran a route almost 100% of routes run last week against Houston. So I think I'm going to get different in this spot with that so that I can go pay for the big boys because I'm not paying down at running back. We have Julian Sand, so I can't play my normal want to play running back. of so like I this is the problem in this spot. I'm not gonna play Dior Hubbard. I'm not gonna play Bo Jackson. So now I have to play Antoine Raymond. I want to play the Saiyan double. So I don't have a choice there. So Saiyan double. So then that's going to leave me, if I play 5K, I've got 6,200. I can get to Bell. I just have to play Jordan Davison at 4,300 as my second running back for Oregon. I don't mind that. I'm open to that for sure to get Bell. So I can go Bell. I like Weimer. Yeah, I think he's a great play there. He does, yes, he does have 22 touchdowns and 0 picks. The the deal there is though is half of those go to Skylar Bell, so I'd rather just play Skylar Bell by himself, and then I get all of his production because it's not like I thought he was going to be a more of a runner based on the production and based on how much people were liking him, but yeah, not really, not the case. I think Jordan Davison and Skylar Bell is a fun way to play this. Certainly. No, Edwards isn't a lock. Claiborne. I'm so stuck on Demond Claiborne that I'm. You're killing me here. Who the frick is Claiborne? Oh, you want to? No, that is not it. What are you talking about, Claiborne? Who the heck is Claiborne? I like Demond Claiborne. I'm playing the crap out of him on FanDuel, and I'll probably play a ton of him on DK because Virginia can't tackle worth a darn. Man, see, this is the thing. I like Nate Shepard. I don't like any of these backs right here. I don't like any of them. Yeah, Demond's on the late slate pop. He's not on the main slate for DK. I wish he was. I'd play the crap out of him. I love him today. I like the Miami guys, and I like those guys. So we'll get to them in a second. I'm going to build these couple teams. I like Edwards in this spot. I mean, I don't dislike Edwards, but Duke is very clearly a good run defense. So I don't particularly want to play him and then have 5,400 left at wide receiver. That leaves you in that Parker Kingston, Zach Branch range, which I do wonder if Zach Branch ends up being popular because of the PPR aspect here. Like Highshaw, I think Highshaw is the best bring back against Arizona, personally. I'm a Highshaw fan, but that's just me. But 5,500, that leaves you 5,800. Now you're saying, well, I'm going to play Highshaw and Chris Hudson. I mean, that does correlate. From a correlation standpoint, it does work. You get Highshaw and Chris Hudson together, and that gives you exposure to the Arizona-Kansas game. I think that's a fun way to play it. I would do it in low dollar stuff. But like, what's the upside from a rush standpoint? Let me see what do I have info on the run defense for Arizona? All right. What is the Arizona run defense? I mean, it's a split backfield. That's the thing. I mean, it's a split backfield either way I go, but all right. Houston and BYU had over 230 yards rushing against Arizona. Colorado ran for $129 last week. No, it's all good, guys. It's all good. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I do this more for me to talk through this and get y'all's knowledge than it does benefit than I benefit you guys. Plus, it's fun for me. It's good for me to talk through it in my head. 58, man, that's my lucky number. So I'm happy with 58. I'd love to have 58 viewers. I am very pleased with that. I appreciate everybody who started out watching and suggested that I need to do live before lock. I actually enjoy this. I just don't see how you don't play this with Jordan Davison. Like, if we go down here, Let's just say Decorian Moore actually is hurt. And let's just say that this is a 24 point game, and this is going to be a defensive battle. And we don't necessarily have a running back that's taking all the work. But the difference is, last time they played, 5 red zone carries, and all of them went to Jordan Davison. That's what I'm talking about, JB. So that's why I'm thinking about that. There was 5 red zone carries in their last matchup. I personally think in this team, Davison and Skylar Bell is the play. Y'all can see I'm just trying to find any way I can to jam Skylar Bell. I mean, that's just where I'm at with this. Give me as many reasons and many possibilities to jam Skylar Bell, and I'm doing it. If Skylar Bell fails, then I'm failing. If Julian Sayin fails, then I'm failing in a lot of ways. So maybe I try to get some leverage and to get off of it a little bit here and there. But man, I'm going to have a hard time because we've seen last week, if you look at it, I know I really I like this, man, because Davison is a stud, and if Decorian Moore's out, like my reporting says, so sources, I wouldn't call them sources. I'd call them sauces. Let's see. Okay, there's growing sentiment that Dante Moore is going to stay another year. I mean, it makes sense for him to stay and develop. Austin Novosad, they're not playing. Yeah, they're just talking about some other stuff. Yep. Nope, nothing else interesting. So yeah, we haven't gotten anything else in there. I'm playing this team. This is the way I'm playing it. That's the way I'm going to go. All right, please. I have no clue what I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know somebody's gonna ask for the night slate. I don't even know what teams are playing on the night slate yet. That's where I'm at. No, David. FanDuel's super easy today. Okay, we'll go there real quick. Now that I've got 2 teams on DK built, we got 4 to go, but we'll go from there. All right, so actually we got 3.5 to build. Okay, so FanDuel running backs, super simple here, guys. They are super easy. Well, for me, just me personally, I built 20 teams. I feel really good with them. I like a couple running backs. Number 1, if you need to take a deep cut or a shot, you want to take a shot play, Mississippi State, awful against the run. I'm going to buy Chauncey Bowens. This is not my favorite play, but it is. Who can you stack with Fox? Cam Vaughn, if you really want to get freaky, at 6,200, because that is insane to play Cam Vaughn over KJ Duff and the other guys in that range. And then Joey Weimer. I like Joey Weimer. Weimer's my favorite one. Doesn't have a ton of upside, but he's 3,300. I don't need a ton of upside there. So I don't mind Chauncey Bowens if I need 2 cheap guys. The reason why I say that is my preferred options. The 2 guys that I put in almost every team to start with were Damon Claiborne, because UVA can't tackle against the running back, and everybody tried to tell me last week Kendrick Raphael was a terrible play, yada, yada, yada. Jamari Taylor this, Jamari Taylor that. I was all in on Raphael. Scores 3 touchdowns against this UVA defense, which can't tackle. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you need a Miami running back. It does not matter. You need a Miami running back because Mark Fletcher's out, and I don't care who's playing. They're going to run the football because if there's anything I know about Mario Cristobal, it's his butthole puckers up anytime that he gets into a lead situation and trying to protect it. I think personally, most of the carries go to Sharmar Brown, the North Dakota State transfer, 1,000-yard run, like 1,400-yard rusher last season as a true freshman. Personally, I think he's the best play. I do have exposure to Jordan Lyle if I need to punt because I think both are viable because Lyle will get probably 30% of the work at minimum, if not 40 plus. So I think he's on the B side But at 5,500, I still think you get there. So if you needed to save money, I'm fine dropping down from Brown to Lyle. I don't mind Bowens as a cheap pivot if I have to save the 500 to fit an extra stack that I wanted, then I did it. Otherwise, if I have tons of money, I'll go to Jaden Baugh. I don't mind McGowan because a lot of guys are out for Florida. But my favorite play is to double these two. That's my definite tops. I don't mind paying for Jamari Taylor if I had tons of money available to me. I don't mind Jaden Baugh if he's got a ton of money available to me. Again, I did this more than I probably should, but I'm leveraging off of my stacks. I like Bo Jackson because, like I said, if he's going to go for 150 and 3, I'm all in. So give me Bo Jackson. If I had an extra 800, I went to Bo Jackson over Claiborne. But I think those are the only guys that in truth, I think you can consider McGowan. I probably should have played a little more McGowan than I did. I just prefer Claiborne. I know Florida's decent, so I like Hardy. He's just not efficient enough for the price tag. Like the efficiency is not going to be there. A&M's improved greatly against the run, so I'm less in on Hardy. For my money, I don't know that there's a difference between Ahmad Hardy at 9,800 and Damon Claiborne at 7,200. That just might be priors for me, though, because coming into the year, my opinion was all the work's going to flow through Claiborne, and he's one of, if not the most talented back in the ACC. Is that proved wrong? I don't think so. SMU is a great run defense. Florida State is going to outman Wake Forest all day along the lines of scrimmage. Virginia does not outman Wake Forest. So he's been hurt against Virginia Tech. He was banged up. Against NC State, he was hurt. Against Kennesaw, he left after the 3 carries for 19 yards. So the games he's really been healthy in lately are Georgia Tech, where he dominated them, Oregon State, where he dominated them, and he was healthy against SMU, where he got 24 touches. But SMU, I know, has a good defense, and Florida State, good defense. So he's been banged up. I'm going to buy it. I buy it. I like Claiborne, but that's priors talking, right? That's all the priors. So I'm slightly disappointed I haven't had any of the spam stuff in the chat yet. Feel like I was getting enough viewership that I could keep my spam. So yeah, so I think Claiborne is a great play. I think Shamar Brown's a great play. And then, like I said, with my priors, I'm just going this, and then saying I'll figure it out from there. So legitimately, you want to talk about puke stacks? There's your puke stack. That'll make you puke. Cutter Boley, Kendrick Law with that. I like it. I'm fine with it. Florida could have quit at this point. Now, the other way to do it is you go Vernell Brown because all of the Florida wide receivers are out. So I have Vernell Brown and DJ Lagway. Maybe Florida didn't quit. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I was hopeful that I would have the things. I haven't had any of those yet today, which is disappointing. It's disappointing, man. The other one that's absolute puke sack. Watch this. You want a puke stack? How about Garrett Nussmeier and Aaron Anderson? But I mean, you can get it with Ohio State. Like, that's the thing. I can get Ohio State. I can get my favorite 2 running backs, and I just jammed in some puke. Like I played 4 different stacks in that spot. Bayron Morton and Carter, Terrence Carter Jr., the tight end, DJ Lagway, Vernell Brown, Garrett Nussmeier, Aaron Anderson, Cutter Boley, Kendrick Law. They all are disgusting, no doubt about it. But it gives me saying doubles, and maybe it gives me leverage when I play saying doubles. And then the other way is I don't mind doing the same thing in this spot, and you can mix and match however you want. But Klubnik with I think you can do any one of Williams, Moore, and Smith, and then it gives you 10-1, and you just pair whatever you want in there. I like Zollers long term. I just don't. I think this ends up being just a low scoring, nasty game. So it's not going to end up being my favorite way to play. I'm just kind of avoiding the game for the most part. But that's that's just kind of where I'm deciding to be on it. Exactly, Pop. You know what I mean? Like if let's just say those guys go off, and then I get that back end. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled programming where we play for 50K and actual crowns. Although I hate the way that they changed the reward system. Golly, it make it so difficult to get to bronze, man. Like I played tons of volume. I played like 6K in NASCAR contests this year, and I'm not even sniffing silver. I'm barely getting close, which is insane to me. All right, Fox and Fafita. As Brian used to say, Fifta. I think I got to play Dior Hubbard here. And then I want to end up paying up for some stuff. So I definitely am going to want Hudson in this spot because I don't need to. So that's my stacks right there. I definitely am going to want Raymond here. And then I should have tons of money available to me. So this is where I think Bell and Barcate come together as a good option. So I can go Bell Barcate. Still have plenty. You know what? Can that give me Bo Jackson? Does Bo Jackson fit at that point? Maybe that's where you get the leverage. Who's the late game? Is Hubbard a late? No. Raymond's not a late game, I don't think. Oh, they're throwing tortillas. I just hope that none of my players get hurt. Yeah. I mean, I do think he warms up. I do think he might play. I just don't particularly want to play it, what I would say. All right, let's go Bo Jackson. I like Omar Cooper a good bit today, too. That's a question. Is would I want to play Omar Cooper here? Oh, no. So what if I didn't play Bell? What if I played Barcate? No, I can't do that either. Shoot. I could play McAllister Bell, but I don't particularly want to do that. I could go down to 5,500, but I don't want to play him and him. I don't like Marcel Reed. I'm a noted hater, we'll say. I don't think he's particularly a good player. But I do have a little bit just because he projects so well. I don't love it though. I don't really want to play that, but I am going to a little bit. I could play Barcate and Strong. I don't love that. I could go here and see, that's the thing. I don't particularly want to play Eric McAllister. I know the benefits of playing Eric McAllister. I don't like this. I can come off of Bo in this spot, and that would be fine. Actually, why am I going Bo? Why am I going 3 running backs? That is stupid. It's all about the wide receivers, people. It's all about the wide receivers. Wideouts. Give me Barcate. Give me Bell. That gives you 5,100. Oh, boys. That was too easy. That was too easy, boys. That was too easy. Let's go. We're going right down here. Zach Branch and his insane amount of catches. And then that's going to give me Cooper Barcate. Ding, ding, Ding. Yeah, I sprinkled probably 10% read, maybe 15% in my 20 max just to cover it. So then I get Zach Branch, crazy amount of catches lately, like him in that spot. You get Hudson, Branch, Bell, Barkate. Boom. I get exposure. I like Barkate. Fafita stacked with Hudson. I get Fox and Dior Hubbard. And then I get Antoine Raymond, who I think can dominate that game potentially. And then I don't mind the idea. Like I would like to get Omarion Miller with them at some point. So maybe that's coming specifically in like a Scotty Fox. I like Branch a ton. So this is a Fafita Fox team. We already built a Fafita Saiyan team with Fox, but that's why I didn't. But I ended up going Weimer on that one. Yeah, I mean that's where I'm at. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. All right, I like that a good bit. I still don't know what to do with this Washington Fafita team. Maybe I don't end up going with Hudson. Maybe I just come off of Hudson, go down. That gives me 2,600. That gives me 8,800. Then I could go up. Maybe I go to Dewan Williams, have 1,200. Then I get 7K. Yeah, but then I got to come off of Hudson. I don't like that. I can go 5,900. Man, I hate that team. All right. I don't know what to do with that team. I'll have to figure that one out. All right. So let's do Sayin and Malik Washington. Because I like Malik Washington today. I think the most fun way to play Malik Washington is not with knots. I think you can play Fafita by himself. Maybe that's what I end up doing on that team is just play Fafita by himself so I can mix it up some. It does open up a world of ways for me to get away from it without getting off of Hudson. It does open it up because then I can kind of play it a little bit different because I've already got Skylar Bell. I can go down and up. I've got Raymond. I've got Knots. I got Washington. Let's see. What does that do? Here, let's look at this. All right. So I can go 50. Oh. Oh, man. I don't like that, though. Like that, I can do this. So I could do Bo Jackson here. Already have Hubbard and Branch, best flex 55K, basically 5,200 or less. So it's going to be a heavy debate in my head, Rod. You're two. What's your quarterbacks in that team, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'll tell you right now, it comes down to two guys for me. Or, well, yeah, it comes down to two, maybe three guys in that spot. Because Stockton Fafita. Okay. Stockton Fafita. You got Dior Hubbard. Stockton Fafita. Dior Hubbard, you got. I think for me, it would come down to Dewan Williams if I really wanted to get freaky. It would come down to Jacoby Williams. And then maybe if you really wanted to get crazy to play off that Hubbard side, I don't hate the idea of going Omarion Miller. But man, that's risky. So like I would lean towards Jacoby Williams being my most comfortable click. Already have Brown and Tate. Brown and Tate. I don't have any problems playing it all the way across. It's tough to do. Quayshawn is a difficult click for me. He plays the most. I don't know. He's coming off that 2-touchdown game. I do worry about that, though. It's like the question is in this spot, do you play the 6,600 wide receiver? I mean, the problem is that I like Ian Strong or KJ Duff as the play, but I already have Raymond. And do I really want to double that? I could just go all in on the single entry in that game. Not particularly. I like kind of being able to play it that way. So then do you go 5K and then you have maybe you play Omar Cooper? I could see it playing Omar Cooper. You go Omar Cooper and Zach Branch maybe for the volume, because you got to think those guys are going to get volume today. I don't mind this. Like, that would interest me. I get my favorite 2 running backs. I get Branch, who I think catches 7, 8, 9 balls. I think Cooper ends up getting targeted a ton. Penn State struggled like crazy on the back end last week. I need to move Bell into that spot if I'm doing that. I like Bell the most of any wide receiver. Why did it do that? Just put Bell right here. I want Bell in that spot. Oh, fudge. We're all over the map, boys. We're all over the map, boys. All right. I need 5,100 Branch and 6,800 Cooper. Like, I don't mind this. I know I'm playing Fafita naked and I kind of hate it. But if he spreads it, then I could be okay. That sounded incorrect. Golly. If he throws the ball to a lot of different weapons, it looks pretty good. I know this is a spot where I did play this exact team, and I played DeJuan Williams here, and I played like one of the other back, like the other Rutgers guy here, and then I managed to get a different guy in there. Yeah, I think it's viable in single entry like this because he could throw 4 touchdowns and not hurt you and like be fine. And he just spreads them like he did last week. And none of them necessarily get there. I do want to play him stacked. So that's where it's tricky for me. I'm just playing saying doubles. I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'm telling you that right now. I don't care. So the Oregon guy, I'm only playing one Oregon guy pop, and it's Jordan Davison at 4,300. Otherwise, I would love to say Decorian Moore, but I got info right before the show went live. Somebody told me I have a little birdie that's saying that it's possible that he tore an ACL in practice in the last 2 days. Sorry, I got to respond to my Oregon guy. Yeah, it's possible. That's the rumor that I have, but I don't know that it's true. I also got fooled earlier this week on a Josh Hoover potential injury, but I'll read it off again now that we have almost 50 people in here. According to reporting that I am getting, not Pete Thamel, the belief is Decorian Moore will miss the Iowa game. They believe it was originally not to be very severe injury, but further tests suggest it was a rumored ACL injury. To what extent, they can't confirm. They do wonder how this was, you're wondering how it's kept under wraps. The intel suggests that yesterday and today is when this popped up. It's not something that they've sat on for multiple weeks. So that's my intel, or at least the information that I have. Doesn't mean I wasn't going to play him anyway, but it's just what I'm hearing off to the side. We all know Dior Hubbard is going in this team. So now this begs the question of where else am I going? I think Shalik Knots fits very nice in here. Oh, that is the ballsiest of ballsy plays. Hudson Jacoby for me. I just think the slot position is hit so well for Fafita that I have a hard time not going there. And then Jacoby, I think, is one of the best plays on the slate for my money. I really do like Jacoby Williams as a play. I actually don't have enough, probably, in my opinion. I'm gonna be so disappointed if some guy slips on a freaking tortilla in this field in a minute, and I'm gonna be so mad. I'm very tempted for this to be Shalik Knots and DeJuan Williams and double stack Malik Washington at the same time. Because that's 4,705K. That's 97. That gives me 5,200. That gets me right back to where I was. And gives me Jacoby, or no, I'm sorry, Bo Jackson. You're sold on Bo Jackson? I like Bo Jackson. Well, I'm gonna play Bo Jackson on the next team. Next team's gonna be Fox and Washington, and he's getting played. I'm tempted to throw. I actually like this team. I think this is what I'm playing in that. I love the catch volume upside here of this bunch. So I am going to lock this team in the coffin corner. I actually love this team. So I'm going to play it. That's what I'm playing. I'm sold on the Bo Jackson thing myself, buddy. I just have a feeling. I got a feeling. I'm going to be playing him in the next team. So we got Sayan and Malik. The Malik Washington thing, I don't know how I feel about. I'm just way too in on that, and I don't know that I feel great about it, but I'm in on it. I think everybody's going to be on Dior Hubbard. Maybe that's the next team I end up fading Dior Hubbard. Maybe I'll play 2 teams with Hubbard or 3 teams with Hubbard, 2 without, just in case. Maybe I get unlucky or lucky. I think everybody's going to be on Dior Hubbard, and they should be. Sometimes, though, you don't need the best play. You just need the play that scores you enough to make you feel good. Oh, Raymond makes a ton of sense in this spot. You can't play Raymond with Knots and Williams. There's no way. Because that's 52. So you'd only have 5,200 for a flex, which means you'd end up on Zach Branch, which I already have too much Zach Branch exposure, so I wouldn't go there. It would be, I'm not playing Coleman, not playing any of those guys. So yeah, it would be Jacoby Williams. So you'd be on Jacoby Williams. So your options are, let's see here. I still like Bowens. I just can't get there. It would be Jacoby Williams and then a double stack of Shalik Knots and DeJuan Williams. So you get your Maryland double. This feels like single entry. I mean, this feels like I'm burning $20 to the ground by doing it. And I don't know how I feel about that. It's a very legitimate possibility that this pays huge, though. Maybe it's not Knots. You know what I mean? Maybe instead of Knots, this is where I go Amarion Miller at wide receiver. How do I feel about Amarion Miller? I mean, it's there. The upside's there. This might be the play. I get access to the games I want to get access to. I get the bring back. I think that West Virginia game can go over. I get my Sayan double. We're going to fade Sayan and them on 2 teams anyway. Yeah, no, I agree. Rod. They are definitely soft right now. I can kind of do whatever I want. That's kind of the problem right here. I hate that I don't have any of the Duke game in this one, but we're going to get there. Trust me, Fox and Washington comboed is going to get you there. Actually, you know what I hate is I don't have any of the Rutgers pass offense in this spot. Maybe we're gonna have to get some Rutgers pass offense in that Malik Washington in the next game. Maybe I play Malik Washington naked in the next one. Play Fox. Maybe I'll play Fox and Washington in the next one naked. That gets me that my Omarion Miller exposure that I want a little bit of. I get my saying double. I get Washington with Williams, which makes sense because nobody's going to play that. But he's catching so many balls, and Rutgers is so trash that it's worth it. I guess DT Sheffield makes sense here as well. I feel like that's just it's all plays I like. It feels like it's missing something, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm playing it. I don't love it, but I'm playing it. I don't know. I could see it. It's one of those ones where I don't love the way it matches up, but I understand how it gets there type deals. You know what I mean? There's so many times where I see something like that and I'm like, oh, I should have put something like that together. I was on all those plays. I'm on all the plays. So why wouldn't it work? You know what I mean? All right, let's go Malik Washington here. We've got to play Bo Jackson on this team. I don't think I want to play Raymond on this team. I do think I want to play three. So I'm gonna play Duff because I prefer Duff to. Let me double check that. That's why that I prefer Duff. Just want to make sure. I mean, Antoine Raymond's the best play. It's not close, but I've got Raymond on teams, plenty of teams. Boundary receivers have killed them. So yeah, so I like Duff personally. Duff's playing really well right now. All right, so I'm gonna play Duff for sure. I'm gonna play Bell for sure. Makes a ton of sense to play Carnell Tate separate, but I'm not going to. I think I can afford to play. I really do want to play Dior Hubbard and just say screw it. It'd be either that or Jacoby Williams, but I just played Jacoby Williams, and I don't love Jacoby Williams that much. Let me see. I'll see what I end up with. If I have 200 extra, then sure I'll play it. But I'm only playing 2 running backs in this spot. All right, wide receiver wise, do you want to play Jeremiah? Don't want to play. All right, so I can play Jeremiah and something. I can play 6,800. I already got Duff. I can't play. Yeah, because I was going to say I could play Cooper and him. Oh, man. Mama. I could play Barkate and I have 5,600. So let's just say it could be 54. Oh, no, I do not like any of that. I know it gets me to Anthony Evans. I just don't love Anthony Evans in that spot personally. 6,800. It gives me 6,100, which I don't like anybody in that range. Even at running back, I don't like that. I can go 82. We could go Shepherd. And then we'd have 47, which gets me to knots. Oh, that's just too perfect, people. Oh. You want to talk about an all-time fade play? That's dropping your nuts on the table if you play Shepherd. That is an all-time leverage play to play Nate Shepherd in that spot. How do you do that, though? You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be the play that I'm so uncomfortable playing because I'm too cautious that I should play. Oh, They're 119th in the country in rush defense success rate, 106th in yards allowed on the ground. Legitimately, if Shepard was 6.2K, we would be playing him like he was a freaking lock. Everybody's going to be on Barkate. Everybody's going to be on Mensa. They're going to love Quayshawn Brown. They're going to love Samir Hagan. I love Samir Hagens, but he does split reps with Andrew Anthony, which I don't like. Everybody wants to play the pass game in this one. Duke's got a 37-point team total. It's an 8.5-point game. Now, granted, I'm going to be tilting my face off because Anderson Castle's going to come in and score 4 touchdowns, and it's going to kill me. That's what's going to end up happening. I can play naked Jeremiah Smith, but that goes wrong in a number of ways, and I don't want to play him with Bo Jackson. I just do not like these players at the top up here. I mean, maybe KJ Duff needs to just go. Maybe Hubbard needs to go. Maybe I like KJ Duff this week. I don't mind KJ Duff. I don't love KJ Duff. I don't mind him. I think Antoine Raymond's the best play, personally. So like Raymond at 66 makes a ton of sense to play over Dior Hubbard, and then take Duff out. You play either Barkate or Omar Cooper or whatever. Like, so if I'm building this out and I really want to get freaky, I'm going to keep this in mind because I'm legitimately considering it. I think that's what I should play. It seems stupid. It screams stupidity, but it makes so much sense. It just screams stupid to me. I know it would sim terribly, I'm sure. But everything in my body says this is genius because it is leverage. It is leverage. It is leverage. There is just leverage all over the place in this lineup. I still get the chalk of Bell. I get the chalk of Hubbard. And then I've got leverage everywhere else. It makes so much sense. It's access to every game and every team that I like. It's just the opposite way that everybody's going to play it. It makes far too much sense. So let's just say I'm not doing that. Let's say I'm changing and I'm going my chalkier way. Let's just say I'm tempted. It seems ridiculously stupid, but I'm tempted. Let's say I want to get access to Omar Cooper in that spot. Let's say. All right, what does that leave me? So I don't think I need to do that to stack here. I mean, you could go Kingston and a 5K player. You could go 5,100. I don't particularly love those wide receivers there. Maybe it's not Omar Cooper that you need there. Maybe you want to get access to McAllister. I think getting access to McAllister is not a bad play. He's got so much upside. David's saying don't do it, and I really think I want to, just to prove a point. Just because I'm just proving a point. Stranger things, people. Stranger things have happened. Can I get Cooper? I think I can. Actually, if I really wanted to get freaky, I can get Omar Cooper. I'd have to go 3,100, which I don't love because I can't get Weimer. I wouldn't want Weimer anyway. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm doing it. I hate it, but I want to do it. I hate it so much. I love it. Like if you're winning this thing, you're winning this thing from stupidity. You know what I mean? If you're gonna win it, you gotta win it. This just screams stupid enough to win it. I, it's too much. I sometimes I'm just not willing to take the chance, and I'm gonna end up not taking the chance, and I'm gonna end up feeling like an idiot by not taking the chance. This just screams it has access to everything I like, just in a way that I normally wouldn't play it. So that's why I want to play it. So anyway, all right, that's why I'm playing it. We're gonna do it. Let's go to FanDuel. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna sugarcoat any more of that. I'm not gonna think any more about it. That's where we're at. I think that might be the most retarded lineup I've ever built. I'll be honest with you. It legitimately could be the most stupid lineup I've ever built. So, like I talked about with this, you get access. I really do like this as an option. I like it with Antonio Williams. I like it with Tristan Smith. I like it with TJ Moore. I don't think Georgia's a particularly good defense. I do buy into Texas Tech. I do buy into Missouri. Yes, I do put stock into college defenses. It doesn't particularly matter to some extent, but I do care what the matchup is. Very much so. By default, you're putting stock into that. I don't care about individual players within a matchup because I don't know that any corner or safety or anything is infallible in college. But I do care about the overall matchup, if that would make sense. So, like, if a team's top 5 against the run, I'm probably not playing a quarter or like a run. So, for example, Indiana, never going to play a running back against Indiana. Does not matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's Bo Jackson. Doesn't matter what team it is. I will not play a running back against Indiana because they play a brand of defense that limits the run and makes you one-dimensional in the pass game. So I'll play pass games against Indiana if we get to that situation, especially in the college football playoff. Sure. But I will not play run games. Now, I actually did have this talk with my dad yesterday. The most fun college football playoff matchup would be if they put JMU in as the last team in as the G5 representative, and we played Indiana in the opener because we get former coach versus current coach. That'd be fun. With some of our players, that would be just a blast. We get our teeth kicked in, but it'd be fun. I'd be just happy that one of us was going to win, and aka Indiana's moving on. But yeah, I like TJ Moore. If I want the salary, I'm perfectly happy going there. But I think it's very viable in this spot to do any number of things. You can go Marcel Reed if you want. That's perfectly fine. You can go Mendoza. What I did was say, all right, I do want a Mendoza Cooper stack in the spot. And then I go, all right, I got 1,300 I'm missing. So how do I make that work? Well, if I do TJ Moore, right? I don't love FanDuel this week, but that's why I'm only playing 20 teams. So like I can't do that. So then I want to go TJ Moore. Now I'm 200 short. So how do I find my 200? I'm going to go down from Claiborne. And I'm going to take my next favorite back, which is Chauncey Bowens, and I'm going to plug him in. Boom. Like, that's how I'm going to do it. You can also do we can also say, all right, well, I'm going to switch my backs. I don't particularly want to drop off as much. I'm more than happy to go to Jordan Lyle. All right, now I've got 8K. Boom, I got Bo Jackson now. So now I get my leverage. So, like, that's how I'm doing it. The only reason that I like FanDuel this week is because I like Jordan Lyle and Miami. I like the Miami running back so much, so I'm going to play a Miami running back in 80% of my teams. Probably. I think I have 80%. Sometimes I have Bo and Damon Claiborne if I have tons of extra salary. But you have options. Like, there's tons of options in this spot. You know, maybe you don't want to play Omar Cooper and Mendoza. Maybe you just want to play that, and then you go, hey, I want let's just say you want Julian Sayin and think I did it with Carnell Tate, and it works the same way. So you're able to go 55. No, it was. Oh, no, this one works perfect, actually. Check. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I was thinking 7,200, but that leaves 6,200, so it doesn't work. Yeah, this was another team that I built that had Bowens and Shamar Brown. Because if I drop 1,000, I can't get there. It only gets me to 7,900, and I think I did that, and I still just dropped it in. Or yeah, because you can't get up from more to whatever. So like, there's options in all of this stuff. You just play around with it, and then say, all right, I want to play Fafita. Or well, actually, an easy one too is Hoover and McAllister. And then you go, all right, now I got 6,900. Boom. Now I'm right back to my backs, right? I go right back in. Ding, Claiborne. Oh, look at that, Shamar Brown. So like, that's all I did on FanDuel this week was just boom, 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 done. Boom, 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 done. Boom, boom, boom. And it was just plug and play across the board for all of those players in there, just chucking them in there and just grinding through that. Oh, I still just absolutely cannot believe I'm going to play that team. Whatever. We'll see, man. I don't know that I like the DK teams this week. Be honest with you. I like the game environments, but like from a game environment standpoint, Fafita just feels disgusting to me. I'm going to play it, but he feels disgusting. But I don't know how to explain that I actually care about my money on FanDuel a lot less than I do on DK for some reason. So maybe that's what it is. So this is a fun one. I also like Stockton and Branch in this spot. So I think it's Fafita, Hudson, or Stockton Branch is what I would like to play the most. And then you have so many options here. You have the ability to go up to Antonio Williams because that's 81. That's 9K. I don't think you can get exactly to Williams in that spot. So you have to drop down at one of these two spots a little bit. Or you can go up here, or you can go up here. So like you can go here and you can go Claiborne to Taylor if you really want to play that. You can go up from Shamar Brown and get Jaden Baugh. That's in play. You can go up 1,000 here. So let's just say you said, hey, I really want to play Antonio Williams with Tristan Smith. I want to play Hudson. Now, if you've got 1,800, that takes you from Claiborne up to, it takes you up to Jacoby Williams. That's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, an easy way to go too is you go, hey, I don't want Shamar Brown in this spot. I'm going to play Bo Jackson. So like there's a wide variety of ways to play on FanDuel this week, but there's a lot of fun things to play around with. All right, let's take a last look. Yeah. Oh, injury news. Let's see what the newest injury news. Okay, here you go. All right. So, news for the final injury notes. Elijah Surratt not running routes. Called it. A sign he's unlikely to play today for Indiana at Penn State. Indiana football wide receiver Elijah Surratt tried opening up a little bit with some sprinting drills. He was clearly favoring the right leg. Everyone's now back in the locker room. We'll see if he comes out. I don't think he plays. I've said it. I don't think he plays. Personally, I'd be willing to take shots on Jonathan Brady. That's my opinion. I don't think it's right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm not I don't know that I even have any of that built in. I think I have a little bit here and there, maybe. But that's kind of where I do have some interest in it. If I was willing to take shots, I think that's where I would take them. But that's also why I'm playing Omar Cooper more. I'm playing a good bit more Omar Cooper. I do have a good bit of interest in him. I will tell y'all on this, for this specific slate on FanDuel, I also really like skinny stacks. I played a lot of this just because I like skinnies of that. So give me deuce here. Ooh. If I was playing Maryland guys without a wide receiver, I don't know. I probably prefer Raymond, but man, is that close. What is rate? What is my projections? 16-2 versus I would prefer Raymond by about 3.5 points, but I don't disagree with you. I think Jonathan Brady is the punt option of all punt options. So, no, Darren, no Navy. Like I said, I didn't even know that game was on there. I haven't even sniffed the night slate. I don't even know what's on there. We can do. Do you want to? Here, we'll do it for fun. For fun, I will. For just for Darren, because he got mad at me last week for not looking at it, or for because I said I actually played. Yeah, I went over DK lineup construction, Michael. I can circle back for you. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Basically, I would highly suggest I like West Virginia quarterback Scotty Fox a good bit. My 4 quarterbacks that I'm playing the most of are Julian Sayin, but he's played double stacked with both Ohio State wide receivers. Noah Fafita, I don't mind double stacking with Hudson, and I'm more than happy to play Mendoza Cooper and Jonathan Brady stacks. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, but I like that though, David. I like that. I prefer the fact that Brady's going to play a position and he has that rapport. I'm happy that more EJ's going to play out of that Surratt spot because Surratt doesn't necessarily get targets as much. Chris Hudson, Trey Spivey, favorite 2 to play with Fafita. I like Hudson a lot. I think he's a great flip. Oh, I love Eli Heidenreich, but it's mainly because I just like to say Heidenreich. I do like to say the word Heidenreich. I feel like it just comes with some panache. Malik Washington, I am way too in on at 7,700 because I believe that Rutgers is an absolute dumpster fire, and I'm perfectly happy playing him with DeJuan Williams as a stack partner, even though he's a running back, or Shalik Knox, or. So I love DeJuan Williams as a pivot off of Jacoby Williams. I will be playing Jacoby Williams, but I like him as a pivot off. I think the chalk running backs for currently are Antoine Raymond, Dior Hubbard, and Jacoby Williams. That's my feel. That was my core plays. I love DeJuan Williams as a pivot off of Jacoby Williams. And then I also really like Bo Jackson in lineups you're not playing, say, in doubles. I think Bo Jackson has the capability to break a slate and kill the Saiyan teams, personally. I do have some of that. Not a ton, but I have some of that. Skylar Bell is number 1 with a bullet. He's probably the best play on the entire slate at 6,900. I'm far too exposed to him. I needed to be. I love it. If I'm playing Tate or Smith, it's only with Julian Sayin, but I'm playing a lot of doubles right there. I like KJ Duff. I like Cooper Barkate. I don't have as much Duff, but I do have some Barkate. I like Zach Branch a good bit. I really like playing the if I'm playing Scotty Fox, I'm happy to play Dior Hubbard, but I do also like playing Joey Weimer as his stack partner. And then you can easily bring it back if that sense with Omarion Miller. Omarion Miller's playing really well. Omar Cooper, I liked before the week started because I said that you wouldn't see Elijah Surratt play. If you want to play doubles of Mendoza, I'm more than happy playing doubles with Omar Cooper and Jonathan Brady. But I don't think you have to play Jonathan Brady. I think you're perfectly fine playing any number of things. I just want exposure to, basically, I want as much exposure as I can get to West Virginia, Duke UConn game, the Arizona Kansas game, which I don't mind getting, but I think it's more so Arizona, but I don't mind getting to what's my guy's name? Daniel Highshaw for Kansas. And then I want exposure to Rutgers, Maryland, and then Ohio State. And that's kind of who I'm jumping exposure on. I think everybody's on Strong, Duff, and Callie McManus. I'm flipping the script going Raymond, Washington, Fafita, or Washington, Williams, and Shalik Knott. So I'm playing the Maryland side with Antoine Raymond instead of playing as much of. I don't understand the Weimer. Are they roommates or something? Because it doesn't make any sense, but they just started playing there. But yeah, I think so. Michael, based on what I've seen, everybody's kind of saying that the Strong, Duff, Callie McManus stuff is what is popping the most in projection or in like models. So I think you're right, Myron. Nider is a good punt play for UConn. He's a sneaky punt play. Yes, if you're going to play Fignano, I think Nider is a good play for sure to be able to find some salary there. So let's see here. So Nider is the third option. He's a deep threat. He averages 16.5 yards per catch. He's got a long average depth of target. I will tell you, if you have the extra 600, Myron, I'd go from Nider to Ray Mello Murphy. Murphy's second on the team in every category. And he plays the slot, which is where Antonio Williams did all that damage last week. So that's an interesting pivot option as well. Juice Vereen scores a ton of touchdowns as the tight end. All right, let's look at this night slate because I have no idea. I'm just going to give you all quick thoughts. This is fast thoughts, 10 minutes or less. Miller Moss, no thank you. Sagapatele, hell no. Keywan Brown, yes, sir. I know Duke Watson's going to be active. Doesn't matter to me. Keywan Brown at 6,100. I am in. I don't want to pick on Louisville, but shout out Kendrick Raphael for the performance last week of that 33 points when everybody told me to play Jamari Taylor, and I was on it. Keywan Brown's going to absolutely dominate this game. I'm all in on Keywan Brown at 6,100. Chris Bell continues to smack me in the face week after week. Eventually, he's going to come back to earth and start playing again. I will be in, but limited. Tron Grizel, probably a decent play at 3.6. He does get a ton of volume. He's a good play at 3.6 for sure. I'd prefer him over Jordan King at 3.1. Grizel's a good play. Mason Minnie, probably not a bad play either. I actually do have interest in Mason Minnie at 3.9. They're pretty bad against tight ends. So one of those two, I don't mind Bell. I like Keywan Brown. They're all probably in play there. Clemson, FSU. I think this is a high-scoring game. Klubnik at 9K. That's a little pricey, but I'm probably going to be in there. Castellanos, I'll be in at 8.5. You never know what's going to hit there. That is a hot take and a half. I don't even know that Juju Lewis finishes that game. Adam Randall, no thanks. Not particularly interested. He got there, but it was on the 2 touchdowns and nothing else. Davidson starting to play more. Sawchuk, he ain't sawing wood right now. Where is the other guy for Florida State that keeps playing? Yeah, this kid Singleton got a lot of work last week. Why is Singleton 4K? All right, maybe I'm interested in that. I don't know. We'll see. I'd be in on Williams. Tristan Smith is way too cheap. I'd lock him in. I mean, I don't see how I don't do that. TJ Moore at 4.7 is a good play. 5.8 for Deuce is a good play. You can easily double stack Klubnik with Moore, Smith, whatever you want. Let's just go ahead and plug Keywan Brown in while I'm here. So those would be cores. Let's see here. Chandler Morris at 7-8. Hell no. If I knew Robbie Ashford was playing the whole game, I might have some interest, but probably not. 8K, that's too expensive. I'd rather play Devon Claiborne at 6-2 all day long. I don't trust a Wake wide receiver because Robbie Ashford. 4-1 for Terrell Harris is pretty fair. I'd be interested in that for sure. That's a very fair price tag on him. Probably outside of that, maybe not. Maybe Cam Ross if you want to take shots. I don't hate that at 3-8. Otherwise, no thank you. Utah State gives it up in bunches, but I don't know that Nevada can score at all. Bryson Barnes, I'm probably interested at 8-3. Yeah, I'm definitely interested there. They split their running backs touches a ton. Javin Jacobs, I do like as a player. Micah Davis, also like as a player. One of them I'm going to like. I just got to figure that out at some point. Ramsure sucks. Pagan, man, Boyd, Lane. Like, I always want to play Brock Lane, but he ends up giving me the blade more often than not. Yeah, I'll have to figure this out. There's bound to be somebody in here that's actually decent for Nevada that I can play at wide receiver for cheap. We'll see. There's bound to be somebody. Top 2 must plays on the slate for the main slate for DK, Dior Hubbard and Skylar Bell would be my number 1 and number 2 play. Not even close. Yeah, definitely number 1 and number 2 on the DK slate. FanDuel, it's Miami running back, and that's probably it. You got to play a Miami running back. Otherwise, just stack teams. No thank you on any of that. I'm in on Love 1,000% always. I love even at 9,500. Don't care. Fields at 3.8. That's pretty fair, actually. Faison, nothing there. Bama LSU is going to be a crap show. I don't want any part of these upper end Bama wide receivers. Latzir Brooks is the only one I take shots on. Aaron Anderson, I'll take shots on at 3.9. DeJuan Williams, not close. Everybody keeps talking Jacoby up. I even put Jacoby as a core play. So I would say DeJuan comes in at sub 20 and Jacoby comes in the 40s or 30 plus. I like Cutter Boley. Hey, you don't have to tell me, brother. I love my first stack I made. No, Georgia, no. Gunnar Stockton's not a lock in any sense. They're slow. They're a slow team. I would have him as my 5th best quarterback on the main slate for DK. I like him on FanDuel, but he's probably like a guy that I'm skinny stacking, so I'm in. 0% on any of the running backs here. No shot. Yeah, I'm out on that game. That game sucks. Boom. Cutter Boley is in play. To Myron's point, I also have him in a stack on FanDuel. He was the first stack I built. Him and Kendrick Law are a fabulous play together. I like Kendrick Law. I like him. I think Florida's kind of given up. I also really going to like Seth McGowan because Florida's got a lot of their front 7 that's banged up too. I don't love Ball at that pricing. I know he had 5 touchdowns against him last year. I do have minimal interest, but not exactly. If you're going to play any of the Florida wideouts, Sturdivant, no shot. I'm playing Vernell Brown or Aiden Mizell. That's the 2 I'm playing. That's it. But I like Law and Boley the best. Kentucky money line. I said that last weekend. Yeah, you got to take that. It's just a lock. All right. Good luck today, everybody. Let's hope the Decorium Moore news is not true. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Different schedule next week. During the week, on the weekend, where I'll be back, hopefully, depending on flights. I'm traveling next week for work, but I'll be in Chicago all week. So I am going to stream at night during the week next week, provided that the Hilton actually has good enough Wi-Fi. I am taking my mic and setup, so I'm flying with it so that I can continue to bring you guys content. So I will see you guys on Sunday night, tomorrow night, for our wrap-up show and discussion. But just to remind, I will be back next week. I'm supposed to be back next Friday night. Surratt's out. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I've been operating on that assumption all week. So, yeah, I've been operating under that assumption. Let's go win some money today. That's right. So, yeah, hot take of the week for me, Jonathan Brady scores a touchdown. Good luck, everybody. If that hits.